Good morning and good afternoon. Thank you to join our webinar today, A Good Way to the World of Wirepas-scalability from 100 to 100 lessons. Today's webinar will introduce our smart tracking solution, smart indoor positioning system, including specification, features, benefits, and flexibility. Before we end to the topic, there are a few things to address. And mention this. So for those people in different time zones who are not able to join the live webinar, don't worry. There will be a recording version within 7 days after the webinar, so you can take your time to watch the video. Depends on your convenience and the ability. And also, if you've got any question, any inquiry, you can post it in the chat room. Our team, our members, actually they are standing by there and will answer it in the chat room. Or we have a dedicated section at the end of the webinar, around like 10 to 15 minutes. So we can go through the question and discuss. Let us see today's agenda. The agenda here will be a short introduction and also about the company and also the Wirepas technology, method technology. Also the speaker background. And myself, I will be introducing the starter kit. What is our starter kit, why, and the benefits. Tim will be introducing our backend, our good way positioning engine, talking about the features and the characteristics. And John, our vice president, will be introducing our business natural, who we are dedicated to the OEM, ODM, and also our production advantage. And there will be a summary. Of course, there will be like 10 to 15 minutes for the introduction. Okay, so let us just welcome our best partner, Wirepas. Papa Shen from Wirepas, head of Asia Pacific. Papa, your turn. Let me give.
Hello everyone, and hello Goodway, a great partner from Taiwan. So it's been a privilege to work with you guys. So I just wanted to check with you, Eunice. Do you want me to run through the entire Wirepas presentation?
Yes. That would be great. Yeah. And a few slides to let people know, because I believe somehow some people they don't really understand Wirepas and the beauty of Wirepas method technology, especially you change your logo, your image recently.
Fantastic, and thanks very much for reminding us. And you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. So welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to do this presentation. And as Eunice mentioned, we have just relaunched our suites of products. And of course, what you may have come across as Wirepas Mesh is now Wirepas Massive. So I really do invite you to go to our website and have a look at our website, including some of the videos that we have released. But for those of you who don't know us, Wirepas is a Finnish company. We have our headquarters in Tampere, Finland. And we were incorporated in 2010. We're about 60 people, with the majority in Finland, but also physical presence in the USA, France, Germany, South Korea, India, and Australia. Wirepas is extremely active in generation of intellectual properties. We hold 93 international patents and 32 pending approval, which makes it about 125 patents in total around mesh networking. And our business model is one of software licensing and royalties rather than recurring data charges. We have over 160 licenses in more than who have generated about 1,000 use cases in diverse sectors of economy. And our licenses range from very innovative startups to very large industrial brands such as Merck, Fujitsu, among many more. And of course, through this webinar, we are in company of our great partner in Taiwan, Goodway. And here is what Wirepas focuses on. So first and foremost is the connectivity. So we deliver reliable, optimized, scalable, and simple to use wireless mesh connectivity, which is delivered in software which consists of the connectivity stack, open source reference software and associated tools for diagnostic and positioning. And just for clarity, we do not produce any hardware or solutions. We focus on delivering industrial grade mesh software for massive IoT applications with high reliability and high performance. And last but not least, we do not do this alone. So in the IoT domain, no companies can deliver full end-to-end offering. So our go-to-market consists of building strong relationships, such as the one we have with Goodway, and together with our partners, we can offer turnkey solutions. Okay. So here is an overview of Wirepas mesh architecture and what we deliver. So the Wirepas mesh stack, this is delivered as a binary. So here you can see that you can program to your radio device, and we support 2.4 gigahertz and sub-gigahertz bands and run on multiple radio chipsets, namely the NRF52 series from the Nordic Semiconductor and the EFR32 chipset from Silicon Labs. And there's also a choice of modules like from partners like uBlocks, Murata, Laird, Fujitsu, Worth Electronics, and others for easier development options. Now, any device that has the Wirepas mesh binary and the network credentials or the keys can join the network and establish upstream, downstream, and node-to-node communication and extend the network coverage by acting as a router for other nodes. And Wirepas mesh is a fully decentralized network, which means that all the networking decisions are taken by the nodes themselves. And this autonomous behavior is a significant benefit of our technology because it eliminates the need to plan specific routers or network controllers or routing tables, which are quite difficult. In practice, once that you get the network running, there is little to no need for planning, commissioning, provisioning, and ongoing management of the nodes. We also provide an SDK that runs on the radio CPU for application development, also provide a set of application examples for sensing and asset tracking to get you started. And then the Wirepas Linux gateway and cloud APIs are available in open source through the Wirepas GitHub. You can use them as is or customize them for your own needs. And we also provide two cloud-based tools, the Wirepas Network tool, which is a visualization and diagnostic and network health monitoring tool, and also the Wirepas positioning engine, which does the localization calculation, so it comes up with the coordinates. Last but not least, the Wirepas partners provide a whole host of hardware devices, such as the ones that you see from Goodway, and also some software tools and platforms. So that's all I wanted to talk. It's a pleasure for me to talk about our technology. Please direct all of your questions to my email address, which is listed on this slide. And I shall now give the control back to the Goodway team and join you in the Q&A. And many thanks for listening.
Okay, thank you, Papa. Okay, so Jay, can you give the control to me, or?
Yes.
So that get back to you. In the few seconds, I will be introducing about Goodway technology to be like a good start at the work presentation. Did you see that? Oh, okay. Goodway technology was founded in 1983, started business from the computer accessory and computer peripherals. We got a very good relationship with those laptop brand carriers and work with them closely for the OEM projects. A few years ago, we got a business extension to IoT, and our core competence for IoT is to focusing on the low energy, large scale, location-based, and long distance, which just exactly echo what Rafa just mentioned about the features and specification Wirepas want to emphasize. So from the slide itself, our headquarters located in Xindian in Taipei, Taiwan. We got the two production campuses, one in Kunshan nearby Shanghai in China, and then one in Taipei. And later on, our Vice President Zhang will address a little bit about factory capacity and the location, and also the special strengths for our factory. And we have two branch offices, one in Shanghai and another one for the in the South California in Los Angeles. But both of them, they are more focusing like computer accessory and the peripherals. For the IoT business, everything will go back to Xindian, our headquarters, which is the area we are working in. So quickly going through the next two slides about our factory, and to see that in the past few years we dedicated in the hardware, and we got big capacity for the production line, no matter in China or in Taipei. And also we to provide different service to our different ODM customers. We also work with us contractors in Taipei. So for customers, those who got a concern to produce a bigger capacity, we can have a choice to provide the product made in China. But for those who want to get a project for United States, for example, like a government project or military projects, have to comply with the TAA. So don't worry, we get a factory in Taipei and in Taiwan as well. So don't need to worry about the capacity and the production line and where they are. Okay. So just quickly finish the introduction. And before I enter the topic of today's webinar, I would like to introduce the speakers. Just besides Wirepas Baba, we also have another two speakers, not including myself. So let me just quickly introduce Dr. Timothy Wu. He's the manager responsible for the cloud management in the way. So Tim, want to say hello to all the participants?
Hey, hello everyone. Hey, Baba, Eunice. Okay, my name is Timothy Wu. I'm the manager here at Google SLD Cloud, and I'm responsible for the server backend and the portals here at the Google development. And since I'm the only developer here right now, I say hi on behalf of all the developers here and welcome you to our seminar.
So,
all right.
So you don't worry that Tim will come later to introduce his portion about the most important one, our backend and our positioning engine. So you are later on, just spare me like a few minutes and you'll see Tim again. Okay. So another one, our key expert, our vice president, Dr. Zhang Hong, is also the head of our business unit of IoT. Zhang.
Hello everyone, it's very welcome to join the meeting today, and I also appreciate Baba to join and have such good introduction for us. So later we will provide the full introduction to you on our total service. Watch later. See you.
Okay.
Welcome, John.
Okay. So myself, I'm the sales manager, and so in the coming few minutes, I will spend some time to introduce what is our starter kit and why, and the benefits. Okay, let's see. People know. Recently we encounter many customers come back to us to ask about what is about Wirepas and how to start with. I have to say that we will launch the starter kit after the webinar to let all the customers or let all the users who are interested in knowing the smart tracking system, especially for the indoor application, particularly for like a smart factory, smart hospitality, asset management, inventory control. I would suggest to start with our starter kit. And let me introduce a little bit about our starter kit. So basically, starter kits in our solution there will be two options. And the difference for those two options just for the sensor type. So no matter option 1 and option 2, basically there will be one gateway, which is from the solid round, solid sense, and 6 indoor edge model, which is very stable and very robust. And there will be also 10 units of the anchor, which is for 2200 or 2000 milliamp per hour, and which is quite enough, no matter the cycle time you set. Usually in the real practice, will be able to sustain like 2 to 4 years or even more. It really depends on your occasion and your practice. And the most important is that we want to let our users to have a different tasking to fit in different environment and application. So we provide a wide range of a different sensor type. For example, like multiple sensors for humidity and temperature, and also we put an accelerometer in almost all the sensors. And for different occasions, for example, some like construction or the medical care, for those the requirement to trace the people or the patient, so we also provide a wearable wristband, and also the car type. So you can see here the car type and lanyard. I put like a quickly very simple comparison. For the left-hand side, there with my beige, which is very regular and conventional RFID card. Unfortunately, it doesn't really support like indoor positioning. But the central one here, the central one is lanyard. There's a PC board inside, which carrying the Nordic IC, and we will load the Wirepas firmware. Also, the right-hand side is the beige type. There's option for the RFID or NFC, which is convenient for the like future integration to integrate with the customer, the end customer system, so that the end customer will be able to use Wirepas and also working with compatible with their existing system to do like the human resource management or like the asset management. And the option 2, the difference between option 1 and option 2 is from the layout to the asset. So here, put also the comparison picture here, how small the asset is. Besides the hardware I just mentioned, most important for the starter kit is the user who acquire the starter kit will be able to enjoy 90-day free trial for our smart indoor positioning system. So let me get into the system to show you how system it works. So did you see the photo? Okay. So if you don't see the photo, just let me know. The photo, we will be launching with a starter kit. Basically, they will be able to file a dashboard for the environment monitor to provide the data, the average data information, the temperature, humidity, and also the air pressure, or what's called like atmosphere sensor data. And the other important feature and also the benefit to bring to our customer who acquire the starter kit is we provide a geofencing. Here, for the dashboard here, can show that about the people traffic. For example, in the DQA room, there are only 2 people and still in the control, so that there's no violation, and the record so far is good. So we can just go downward. So far, it's okay. So everything looks okay in the environment. If there's any violation here, the left-hand side here also can geofencing the sign definition here will tend to red. We'll see how many variations coming out from last rate to this time. So, but how to know to set the rule? We also put like a special characteristic in the setting. So if you check my first here, the tracker class setting, which this portion Tim will explain a little bit later in his section. We put the tracker class here. Let me get into the tracker class. When we could create like a sign, upload the floor map, the user should be able, or the manager should be able to define different let us say like a different resource. A resource can be defined into like people or assets, and you can add a rule here. So when we get into the adding rule, you can put a rule here. For example, rule here saying that unit cannot let zone or limit the number of units in zone. What does it mean? For example, like in the smart medical care, if you want to limit certain patients in certain area, certain facility, you can apply the first one. For example, like per patient or total unit cannot leave the zone. The patient cannot leave certain zone. Or you want to limit this the crowd population in the certain area, you can apply the limited number of the units. For example, if you want just for like a COVID-19 concern, you want to limit the people traffic. For example, you want to limit not to exist 10 people in the big meeting room. You can apply this rule to the big meeting room. You can find. Okay, so that is a very special feature. And then let's get into another one, flow map, which is very basic but also quite important in our starter kit, and also the smart interpositioning. You can see many colors here, and you can see the filter on the top. Can see if I hide zone, we don't see zone here, because when the user start to log in the system, they create the account, they upload the floor map, they should define the zone and the drag and roll, anchor, and the tag. So if I put like hide or hide the zone, you'll see or hide the zone. And also the anchor, if you don't want to see the anchor, you just want to see the sensor tag. You can put a filter like that. And why there are so many colors here? Just like the rule I just mentioned, the special feature I just mentioned, we put all the sensors or all the tracker into different categories. So under each category, you can define the color to make sure that it's quite easy for the management, also for the monitoring. So that's very special feature, and also we want to introduce to our customer, and so that customer can use our the special function and special feature to work with their real environment and real products. And also from the smart indoor positioning, we can see that we put a log history. So the user, or the manager, can check all the log history to see if there are any system error or system report change, for example, like a sign change or organization change. Also the geofencing, if you want to check certain track or certain people or certain certain device, they change from place to place. So you can check like a geofencing log. And when the people or when the asset change from A to B, the record will be showing in this section, the geofencing log here. So a lot of information will be able to be shown and present in the smart indoor positioning portal. And I would really encourage people, customer, who are interested in smart tracking system to try out starter kit. So let me just go back to the summary to our starter kit. Why our starter kit? We in the starter kit, from the hardware itself, we provide like a wide range of different sensor types and different form factors, different battery capacity. Because the beauty of the Wirepas is easy for the installation, and just except the gateway is mainline, all of our battery power. So depends on your products and your application to select different sensor type or different anchor with a different battery capacity, which you should be able to fulfill and satisfy all your demands. And we also provide 90-day trials for our our decent and special design with a special and unique power and function smart indoor position portal, so that you can do that like environment monitoring, geofencing, applications, and also the log history, just I addressed a few minutes ago. So just spend very little money, you get a great value of the return, high return on the investment. So that is about our starter kit. I will hand over to Tim. So Tim, get you the control and I'll mute myself first.
Hello, everyone. Can everyone see me? Okay. Hello? Oh, well, let me just shift a little bit. Let's look better. Okay. Can you see my screen? Okay. All right. I'm Timothy Wu. I'm the manager here at GoodWay SIoT Cloud. I'm responsible for the backend, the portal systems in our department. So my topic today is bridging your existing system to Wirepas. I'm going to talk about the customization we've done on top of the Wirepas platform to add values and advantage to the Wirepas ecosystem. And I'm also going to talk about the efforts we made to ease deployment of our systems. So I'll start off with Wirepas Mesh, or Wirepas Massive now. As we all know, it's a universal solution to indoor positioning. So whether you're using it for situations such as the hospital, the supermarket, or the factory, you could find some uses for it. And so in the hospital, for example, a user might want to ask questions like, where is the nearest stretcher trolley, or where have the patients wandered into? In a supermarket, they might need to find items such as cards or basket, or this customer might want to know where the nearest clerk is to service them. And or in the case of a factory, there could be something like they want to limit the number of people in a certain area because of COVID, or the mesh system can carry sensors as well. So there could be questions like what's the temperature in the room and what's the pressure in the room. And for all of these questions that the customer might ask, Wirepas is a good platform to build the sensor applications and indoor positioning applications. So what is Wirepas really? Wirepas is a software company that provides software that allow you to build a mesh for companies like us to provide battery-powered solutions to transmit data and enable indoor positioning. So if you configure it to your desire, it basically works really well. It's pretty robust and it just works. And if you couple it to a gateway like a SolidSense gateway, so what gateway does is on one hand, it receives data from the mesh. On the other hand, it transmits data to the cloud. And there we have WNT and WPE backend systems provided by Wirepas, which receives the data and is able to present it to a client like a WNT client. And ultimately, the user will see it, will interact with the data from the client, and ultimately make sense of data to be able to answer questions like we have already thrown out. And it is throughout this pipeline, from the data acquisition to the making sense of data, it's through this pipeline that we try to improve upon. And I'll start off with the sensor part, the tag part. Our tag come with sensors. So we have sensors to measure temperature, atmospheric pressure, humidity, and acceleration. And to accommodate the sensors, we develop our own backend instead of the WNT WPE backend. So that's because the sensor comes in the customized payload. So we need to be able to decipher that payload. So we develop our own backend for that. And on top of that, we added a multi-tenancy feature to it so that it handles multiple users, and more on that later. And we also try to make it easier for any developers who wish to hook up to our system to be able to hook it up. So what is multi-tenancy? Is that the fact that you can use the same set of server to service multiple data, completely different customers with data segregation. So one customer A will not be able to see another customer B. I mean, the data are segregated. And that makes it operationally expensive, because whenever there's a new customer sign up, you don't have to fire up another set of servers to service them. And it just make it cheaper to run in the long run. And to On top of that, we also added features such as user roles. So there could be multiple guests and multiple admin roles in the system. And the guests are read-only to the system, and admins are different account and passwords, different username and password, but they see the same data. They have the same rights to the set of data. And that makes accountability easier because you know who have done what. And so that you're able to control access to each individual. So that makes it easier to use. And to make it so that the developers are easier to find it easy to hook up to our system, we try to provide a consistent interface to all the data. So you could have a different type of data you want to acquire through our interface. For example, we have to tag data, the anchor data. Anchors are what's mounted on the wall. And also we have floor plan data and the zone data and the sensor data and so on. And it doesn't matter which type of model you're looking for. We provide a consistent interface to acquire it. So you could query for one piece of data, you could query for many pieces of data, and you can filter by field range and day range and so on. And the same consistent language work against different type of models. So it should be easy to work with. And when there's a data change, and we notify you via the WebSocket interface, provided that you subscribe to it in the first place. And once you are notified of the changes, you can again fetch the data from the REST models. And it's again the same interface where you fetch the data in the first place. So hopefully the developer will find it easy to interact with it. And we have the backend system, and then we try to present the data in our own portal or our own management console, which Eunice earlier have talked about it. And ultimately, the user will try to make sense of the data and is able to answer questions like any of the above ones, or such as temperature should not be too high. But what is temperature? What does it mean when the temperature is too high? Obviously, the system has got to accommodate that, right? You're supposed to be able to set a boundary on how high is too high, that criteria. So in all of the questions, whether you're in supermarket, you're in factory, you're in hospital, and all of the questions the user want to answer, in the end, it is just a rule. So you might be able to receive some data from a tag, and you run through the rule which the customer predefined, in advance of time. And then if the rule is violated, then some sort of alert is used to notify the user. And there could be multiple tags which follow multiple rules. So for example, these two tags follow these two rules and ultimately have two different ways of notifying the user. One is through a notification in the portal. The other one is a notification by email. So it depends on the severity, the different type of alert system can be set up. And there could be another set of tags which follows a different rule and with a different type of notification. So these rules should be able to pre-configure ahead of time by the customer. And in everyday operations, new tag can come in and go and are just assigned to the rule. So, so that's how we make it. We have a so-called tracker class. Tracker is just another name for tag in our system. And we have tracker class, which are just rules and alerts. And once it is set up, maybe it's set up for a period of time, maybe a year or more. And then the tag comes in and out every day because they're labeling different things or different people day in and day out, and they can just be assigned to the tracker class, and the rules will automatically be run for them. And then there's also a question of who is who, right? Because the tracker is associated with this item or that person, but who or what exactly is the item, right? You've got to be able to know that in the system. And so there could be different type of detailed information depending on what you're labeling, right? For in a hospital situation scenario, I might imagine something called a stretcher, in which the model number and serial number is of interest, right? So you got to be able to know which model and which the tag is. You got to be able to know the model number and serial number of the item, which is a stretcher that we're tracking. Or if I'm using it for the patient, I want to know who it is. So the name, age, and possibly some sort of ID is got to be associated with this tag. And it's possible that we may not know in advance what our customer want to label with. It could be something really out of the blue, such as the ship. And which case the wool color might be of interest, and we'll never know that because we as developers will not know in the advance of exactly what the customer are going to use it for. So the system should accommodate that, and that's exactly what we did, because our tracker class, which is the rules and the alert systems, they can be customized with a number and type of different data field. So for example, our customer might make a tracker class called patient, and then for a patient, an ID field, a name field, and an age field need to be filled. So once this tracker class is set up, and so for every day that a patient comes in and I want to tag them, then I just need to do the data entry part. So the daily operators, they only have to just key in these data, and which are already predefined ahead of time, maybe some month or years ago by another administrator. So the system is able to accommodate that, and those fields are searchable at the same time. So even though it's completely customized by customers, which we do not know in advance of time what is going to be customized, but user is able to search for, say, age, anyone with age between 20 and 30, and the system is able to search through that just because it's been done already. Okay, so if you develop your own backend to hook up to our system, whether you're developing a mobile backend or management console or any other app or some other backend system, and you can get to hook up to our backend via the REST API, the consistent interface I talked about earlier, and you get all of that feature out of the box. So you get the tracker classes, the rules, the alerts, and the customized fields. All of that out of the box is already done for you. And next, I'm going to talk about deployment. So cloud native with Kubernetes is all the rage these days, and that is what is Kubernetes really? Kubernetes is a system, is a tool that you use that allow you to set a set of configurations, and these configurations dictates how the servers are going to be set up, how the portal talk to the backend, talk to the database, and so on, how many servers you want to fire up to take the load. And it handles the load for you. So you could fire up, say, 5 different backend servers and then share the load. And if something failed, say one node failed, Kubernetes will automatically fire up another server to handle it, to take its place. Or if the load gets big and if you configure it, you could have auto scaling for you. So when a lot of people come in to use your service, you can fire up another server or 2 to take the load, to lessen the load for each of the other nodes. And so the Kubernetes system is able to take care of that. And you can take a set of these configs and images and deploy them on any places that have Kubernetes ready. For example, AWS, Google GCP, or Microsoft Azure are the platform that support Kubernetes. And you could also set up your on-prem cluster as well. So, but then it takes a little more work because you have to do what AWS has already done. So you need to set up your network, your disk, and all that. And depends on the platform, you might need to alter a little bit of the configuration that I talked about earlier. But all in all, we have this images set up and we have the config set up so that you could take this config with just a little tweak and deploy it everywhere. And it comes with the load balancing feature and auto scaling features. So in summary, our tag comes with sensors, and to be able to take care of that sensor data, we develop our own backend, which in addition also handles multi-tenancy system. And we try to make it easy for developers to hook up by striving for a consistent interfaces. And our system is able to allow the end user to customize do some customization, like the rules, the alerts, and the custom data fields. And our deployment is made cloud native, so it is a production ready deployment. So with that, if you're not sure which way to go with Wirepas, consider us a good way to Wirepas because we happen to be called a good way. I mean, good way. Okay, so that's the end of my talk here, and I'll hand the control back. I'll hand the control to John, our vice president here at Good Way. Okay. John, are you there?
Hi, thanks, team. So I think everyone can see my screen right now. And again, welcome everyone Appreciate you coming to our webinar. So I will have a short recap. We want to help you to step into Wirepas board as easy as possible, as fast as possible. So in unit section, we provide a starter kit for you. So I guarantee that it's very easier to install. I installed that starter kit in my home, and it only took about 30 minutes. So it's very easy, and you can see the you can check the ASAT. You can monitor the temperature, humidity. It's very convenient to experience the features. And if you want to integrate your existing portal system to Wirepas without to know much knowledge on Wirepas side, you can just use our web hooks, a RESTful API. So we provide the total service for you, just like Tim's introduction. So next time I would like to show you our other service for you. So if you want to make your own hardware, some special hardware, because we have factory, we can also provide this kind of service for you. So next time I will introduce our audience services. Also, we also provide software services for your own brand hardware to provide a total solution. So let me introduce to you. And the first example is an industrial device. So I just mentioned we can make some special device for you. So you can see it's an industrial grade sensor take. Also, it's an anchor. So you can see we put a different kind of sensor inside this take. It's also IP67 waterproof. Also, the temperature, you can see the scale. So the most specialty of this device is that it can become anchored. It also can become tagged. So if you deploy in the factory, it will become a Wirepas infrastructure, but it also can provide a sensor data for you to monitor a place like a factory. So we can make this kind of device for you. Also, you see the battery. It's 2477. So it can last for a longer times. Okay. So next one is also a very special device. It's a lighting control device. It's a very good place to put the anchors near the ceiling light, because the angle is just right for calculating precision. So we provide this kind of device. Is a lighting control, a relay control device. So we can use device to control the light on and off, even do the dimming. And this device has one specialty, that is for relay control. It's better to do something to reduce the spark. So we support the zero crossing protection. That is electronic wave. We calculate the right time to turn it off. So it's a very good device to do the lighting control because it can have power source. So you can also run Wirepas low latency anchor. So it can become a real-time location checker system for you. So I only provide these two special devices example. That means we can really make some good stuff for you to have the Wirepas device. So not only for hardware, just like what we mentioned in earlier section, we also provide a cloud service. We provide a cloud API for you to integrate your existing portal services. We have a SaaS services for you to evaluate the starter kit, but you can also use your existing portal to connect to our cloud API to enable a total solution. And we also provide a cloud image, that is cloud enabled image, so you can deploy into premises or a public cloud. So it's very good to have all the services at one time. You will have hardware, you will have cloud, and you can have your existing portal service. It will help you to step into the wirepass business quickly. So that's what we provide to you. So I also want to share a little bit more about our vision map. So right now we work with wirepass for indoor positioning sensor, and we provide IoT devices. We provide cloud images and API backend. And next year we will work with wirepass to step into the 5G world, to use DEC 2020 protocol, so it can also become an outdoor solution. So we will expand our backend service to have that kind of service. We will also expand our backend to connect to IDMS and IWMS ecosystem. So you just focus on your business, then we will provide a PaaS services for you. We will provide the devices for you. So that's our total solution for you. And just like I mentioned, we have manufacturing service not only in China, we also have factory in Taipei. So if you need TAA compliance, we can do made in Taiwan for you. So in our factory, we provide all kind of advanced manufacturing process for you to do it. We have 6 SMT line in mainland China, 4 SMT line in Taipei, and we do all kinds of manufacturing services, and we provide all kinds of advanced examining device for you. So this is our new Taipei factory. So today we introduce all our product and services, and welcome you to have further inquiry or question discussion. So I will hand over the control to Eunice.
Okay. So I don't see any question coming to the chat room. So probably we can spend a little time talking about the smart tracking or smart indoor positioning, our system, our photo. So basically, we got a few minutes introducing our starter kit, got a 90-day trial for the smart indoor positioning system, the photo, and also the hardware solution. And Tim talked about the backend and our special positioning engine and the flexibility for the customer, those who are dedicated in location service. They have their paths, they have their portal already. We can use like the API. Tim will provide an API document for the connection for the integration. So for those people who are now who are interested in the wirepass, usually they'll pose a question about how long will be the battery life. It really depends on the application and how often you want the data to be reported to the system. So if you really want, like, for example, the package will provide 20 to 100 milliamp per hour or 20 100 milliamp per hour. If you set like the access time, like 2 seconds, and the overall mesh network, for example, like 1,000 nodes, 1 or 200 anchors, and set like an access cycle time 2 seconds. Usually the battery life can last like approximately like 2 years. But let's say that if you put like every 5 minutes or even 10 minutes, of course the battery life can last more. So that's what it will be like an example for the battery life, how to calculate battery life. But for the sensor tag, really depends on what kind of application you need. For example, if you want to get the humidity and also the temperature, we also provide you like a robust, the one John just mentioned. We've got a robust sensor tech support humidity, temperature, air pressure. We also call it like a sphere sensor to detect like vertical change. And also there's accelerometer inside. When the object or people carrying the sensor tech moving around, the XYZ value will change. So that usually the accelerometers used for like power saving or detect movement. So that is about like sensor tech. We got a different option, and of course a different form factor for the customer to select, just like wearable type or card type or like a round type. Is a portable type or it can be fixed. But usually when we put on the device or people, there will be more like a wearable or a card type. And the round type, no matter, let's go back to the slide. Check the slide. Perfect. Screen. Did you see my screen? Okay. Okay. So the previous material I'm showing that I was showing that they are different form factors. So for the portable one, I would suggest like a lanyard, like a wearable or even card type. But for like a square one, for the like a multiple sensor or even a robust one or like a mini robust, it's more like the fixed type. You stick to like certain device or stick to like a certain asset or equipment, and they won't move around so often because the size concern. But we also accept, just like what John mentioned, that we also have the design team, in-house hardware, mechanical engineering team, the software team, for the firmware, middleware, even application. So we accept different customization for the product itself, also for the application. So not just hardware, but also the middleware, also the application. Everything can be discussed. So we welcome a customer who wants to carry their own solution on top of our Wirepas Nest technology. Talk to us, and we welcome it. So, John, do you got anything to share or to talk with?
Yes, there seems no question. Recently, I provide a question for everyone, also for our guest speaker, Baba. So, do you think Wirepas is a good technical solution for pandemic control? I hope in this period everybody will get safe, and but we really need some technology to do the pandemic control. So because in our system, we provide a history log, just like Eunice mentioned. So when people enter into different different location zone, so we get the history data. So we have a history log. We can check for months, for weeks. So because we already save everybody's we already have everybody's moving history, so then we can do contact tracing. If someone is confirmed in the hospital, I mean, we have this kind of system put into a hospital, then we can help the hospital to find somebody need to take more care. So that's my idea. So how do you think, Baba? Do you think Wirepas is very good for pandemic control?
Yes, I guess we have, in fact, we have been deployed in a number of such applications throughout the world. I mean, it depends. Sorry, I couldn't hear that.
So did you mute?
I'm still on.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
please go ahead. Please go ahead, Papa. sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the scenario that you depicted, John, I mean, that's a fantastic scenario. And of course, you have the portal with the feature set that allows that type of historical movement of people. So it definitely will play into those type of solutions for contact tracing for sure.
Okay. So because I think one of the advantage of Wirepas is it's a battery operation anchor.
Yeah.
So so if you want to deploy a lot of anchors into a hospital, it would be hard if you need to find a power source for the anchors. So if you you need to deploy it in a short time, you just have a half a day, 1 day, and then it's a very good solution to do the deployment. Do you think so? Wirepas is designed for also for quick deployment, right? Because when we operate the Wirepas, the pairing is also a provisioning. It's automatically a provision into the system, right. So that's a your strategy design on the provisioning process.
Yes. And John, now that you have asked me a question, I also want to ask you a question, if I may.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that the smart tracking market is booming. There is quite a lot of interest in that. Goodway has done a great investment in creating fantastic hardware and software solutions with the cloud solutions. Now,
yes.
What's your intention in terms of various geographies who can absorb this type of solution from Goodway and then present it to their own customers? What would you do then? Would you sign distribution agreements locally in various geographies, or what are your plans?
Yes, so that's very important question. So in our policy, we do provide the regional distributor a plan. So we have agreement. We welcome every regional distributor or SI to work with us. So we will have a training service for that kind of SI or regional distributor. So we will also become a second tier support. What we provide a ticket support system. So it's very easy to join our distributor program. So we welcome if the SI or distributor already have technology background, so it would be very easy to start. Another way is that the distributor can find a reseller to do the installation, then do the service or box moving service. Anyway, we will provide a backup for the distributor to do that. And we do provide a distribution, a price list. So that's it's a very good business. So we provide all kinds of profit portion for them. So we welcome the regional distributor to contact us. Yeah.
Yes, fantastic. And I also wanted to ask Eunice if you have a list of contacts within Goodway that you can make available.
Papa, again, your question.
Any list of contacts within the organization of Goodway that, in case anyone is interested?
Yes. I think I will. I got the presentation file at the end. Did you see that?
Yes. Now that's what I wanted to have.
Yeah. You know, we put our contact email here. So we also put if anyone is interested in our solution, we get into our website and let there is a the filter, the question list fill in form. You can anyone who's interested in any of the products just fill in the form, and all the email, all the information come into our system. So we will usually respond within the day, means that 24 hours a day. Okay, so don't worry. Got any question, including the the information you need? We put a handout for all the participants download. But in case that you got any question, you just contact us. And even though if you want to know more about like a starter kit, you want to know like a pricing, or you want to be our distributor, you want to resell product, or you want to customize based on our system, or you want to learn more about Wirepas, you can either contact Fafa or contact us.
Eunice.
Yes.
You have two questions for the poll.
For the from poll from, yeah. Okay.
Is one question is, what is the cost of the starter kit?
Okay. We got a price. Official price is less than 1,600, but not before tax, but not including the shipping cost. But you know, so far we started to put our starter kit on sale. So if you got any further question, contact us. But I just made an announcement for the starter kit, like $1,599 US before tax, not including the shipping insurance and shipping costs.
Okay. Question 2. What is the battery life of the anchors?
The battery life, just the reason I mentioned about the battery life, the anchor now we got two selection. One is we call it like a box type. Box type is got a 2 AA battery, which is for like a 2200 milliamp per hour. And the other one is our robust one, type of like sensor to come like anchor, pure anchor. There's a 2000 milliamp per hour. But what does it mean for like a 2200 milliamps or like a 2000 milliamps? If you put like the network, usually there will be like 1 or 2 gateways only in the Wirepas network. If we say like 1 to 200 anchors, and you got 1,000 nodes, 1,000 sensors, put like the access cycle time. Please bear me like a technology for this, or you just skip like a cycle time. For like 2,000 milliamp or 2,100 milliamps per hour, that can sustain like 2 years. But it really depends on your application and the real environment. That's just a reference. So if got like end customer got a requirement to see, I don't want to change the battery from time to time, and I hope that the battery can sustain like 1 or 2 years. Don't worry, the anchor we provide is good enough to support it. I hope that I answered Paul's question. So any further question?
No.
If don't worry. Time's comes also. We also got time out. But in case when you read through our handout and you find a lot of questions, a lot of information you don't really understand, or it's not quite clear, just contact us and we'll answer your question, or give you more explanation for that. So John, Tim, any further question or further information you want to share with others? If no, that will be the end of this one.
Yeah, I think it's very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
So thank you, Fafa, and let us keep in touch and see how business is going. And that will be not today's webinar is the first one, but definitely that will not be the last one. We are going to have the second one and the third one in different time zones. So for those people who are in North and South America, don't worry, we definitely will host the second and third webinars in different time zones. So looking forward to seeing us very soon. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.